Well, I was pretty pleased with the weekend overall. We had some pleasant surprises, and we had some surprises that literally left us scratching our heads. Overall, though, we were tested in that last game, and it had to go 9 innings. It was one of those games where I think Memphis did a lot of things right. The Tigers did a lot of things right, and sometimes the ball doesn't have eyes, and finally it did. And I like that we were tested early like that. We were visitors in that game, so they had the last at bat, and Danny had a no-hitter going into the 7th or 8th inning, 7th, 6th. With and the score's tied 1-1, so you can't ask too much more of your pitcher in that situation. But overall, pleased with the performance. We moved the game up with Monroe because of the weather factor. I mean, we froze on the weekend. We're going to freeze tomorrow. We're going to freeze this weekend. So we're trying to do everything we can to keep our kids kind of out of that weather. 6 games in 3 days, and in conditions like that, you kind of feel like yesterday that you were run over by a bus. So, I mean, that was their day off yesterday. We'll go back to practice today, play tomorrow, go on the road Thursday, leave for Houston and play the tournament this weekend, which will be a very good tournament test. Houston beat Michigan Sunday night in a tournament they had in Houston. So they're a formidable opponent, along with some good other out-of-conference people in that tournament. I'll take some questions right now.
You checked out Kristen Hobbs' weeding. That's one of the surprises you talked about.
Unbelievable. I guess I gave out the wrong impression at Media Day. I think a lot of people, I don't know, I guess I misspoke. I gave a lot of people the impression she wouldn't be able to play at all. 3 weeks ago, she couldn't lift her hand up to blow dry her hair. And she had a cortisone shot, and then she started playing. We eased her back into it, and she looked great at practice defensively. She's never really been known for her hitting. She's not a true hitter. Her swing is not that great. And but James had said that she'd been doing a ton of work in the cages because she couldn't throw for over a year. So she's done a lot of work. We put her in the lineup because I felt like she could play, and my God, did she ever just take it by storm. And it's kind of an unbelievable story. I mean, none of us saw this coming, and she has so much confidence right now, and what an added bonus for our team. And I've said this countless times, she is the epitome of everything you would ever want in a student athlete. If I had a daughter, I would want her to be my daughter. She's just a great human being. She's always put the team in front of herself. She understood her role. She'll do anything to help the team. Last year, she sat in the dugout and just tried to pick signals from the other team. Anything that she could do to help. So, just tickled to death with that performance.
Does she stay in the lineup now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's some kids that, we tried to make a statement early on that we started the lineup with the people who deserved it, that had worked to be in the lineup. We gave some people the opportunity to try and grab that spot, and they didn't. And then we put some freshmen in who we thought hadn't earned it yet and did very well. So, what do coaches know? They always prove us to be this weekend, like I said, literally, I boasted about our defense, and I still think we have the best third baseman in the country. She made 5 errors, so she'll make an ESPN play. She makes the $1 million catch and the nickel throw is what I say, but she's going to be fine. This is a young lady who sat out a whole year, a little rusty, very, very excited to play. She's going to be fine, but we dropped 2 pop-ups. Leslie Klein dropped a pop-up. I don't think Leslie Klein dropped a pop-up when she was playing in Bobby Sox. So, it's just one of those things that it's why you play the game.
Coach, how important is this first road trip of the year, just being able to win with all the distractions and not sitting in their own beds?
Well, I think that a lot of our team, we have a lot of Texas kids, a lot of Houston kids, so they're going to be very excited. And we're still juggling a lot of things as a coaching staff because, as we said, now Kristen Hobbs is presented us with a challenge here, and some younger kids have. So I think it's an opportunity for us to find a lot of answers before the conference begins, and we start conference on the road. So it's a, we've usually traveled well, so we'll see if this year goes along with the pattern of previous years.
That was the kind of game that you like hoping to pitch in this past Sunday, as opposed to like an 8-0 game where you really don't get that much better.
Absolutely. I think the competition is going to increase over the span of the next 3 weeks. But yeah, you want your team to be tested immediately. That was, as I said, that was a supreme test. Of course, we weren't on the road, but we were visitors in that game, and they had the winning run on second base in probably every inning after the seventh. So she stepped up and got big strikeouts, or got them to pop up. So that was a good test for her, and she kept telling me she wasn't tired. I think she was, but she didn't want to come out of the game.
What did that do for her maturity, Coach? I mean, last year, did you see her being able to pull that off, what she did?
Well, she started out awesome last year, and then lost some games right there in the last inning. Of course, the opponent wasn't as good as the opponent she faced last year at this time. It was Stanford or UCLA, where she gave up the run in the last inning. But it's just one more step in her maturation process. And again, I was glad that she was challenged.
Coach spoke earlier about conference play. You're about a month away from conference play right now. Ideally, you probably like to be undefeated heading into conference play, but where do you see you guys probably sitting at when you start SEC play?
Well, we're gonna do the coaches speak here and do it one game at a time. And we're gonna worry about Monroe first, and we're going to see what happens this weekend. And sometimes I don't ever go into a game to lose. I never do anything to lose. I mean, but there are some situations sometimes where you have to try and allow some kids some opportunities so you can get those answers, so that when you get to conference, you have those answers. But we're very cognizant of the fact that we want to protect our turf. We want to have the best record overall. So at the end, again, we get to stay at Tiger Park and not get sent on the road for the big show.
Talk about how handy it is right now to have players like Tiffany Garcia and Danny Hofer in the circle whenever the turf's not there. Every other game she gets to go, but we have people that can step in and get the job done out for them.
Well, it's extremely important because that was a difficult situation to pitch in. When you can't feel your fingers and you're asking somebody to go out there and throw 140 pitches, because that's what we do sometimes. We have the luxury of, I think, 3 outstanding pitchers, and if she's okay, Cody Trahan is slotted to start tomorrow night, so you'll see the freshman. But she sprained her ankle yesterday walking on campus. So we'll see what happens with that.
Walking to awards, walking, was it opening day, was it family day last?
That was Tiffany Garcia. Runs out to meet her family and breaks her foot.
Coach, you've been invited to go hunting and turn down. What's that all about?
Well, Coach has that bad eye, so Coach wouldn't want to be responsible for shooting someone instead of a bird. No, we're going to be getting in pretty late from Houston, so.
What, is Kristen going to DH for you?
Well, tomorrow night, we had this big discussion in the office before we came. She's probably going to DP tomorrow night, yeah, because we want to save her arm as much as possible. And, Rossner's done just a great job for us also. But so this is team-wise, a very good situation for us. But how can you keep her bat out? So, and then we want to see our freshmen in more game-like situations. We want to give them at-bats, but how do you keep Hobbs' bat out after she did so well? And we'll make that decision tomorrow. If she doesn't start immediately, she will get some at-bats.
Coach, I'm sure you talked to Tiffany Garcia after a no-hitter, after that last season with a busted ankle or whatever, your parents. What was her reaction to that no-hitter first game of the year?
I'm embarrassed to say this, but I didn't even realize it was no-hitter. I was just so concentrating on the 0 under the errors that was kind of what I was focusing on. And when she, threw the last pitch, I kind of realized it was a no-hitter. But we didn't really talk about it. We just said, she had a great game.
Is that because you guys didn't realize, or because you're not supposed to talk about it?
You're not supposed to talk about it.